just going to go ahead and get started here. So my name is Mary Corcoran, and I'm one of the owners of Half Moon Bay Coastside Tours. So I'm sitting right here at the Half Moon Bay Yacht Club, a little bit south of San Francisco, about 30 miles south. It's a beautiful day here today. We are a beautiful part of the Northern California coast. My business partner, Ginger Miniletti, and I started this business about 2 years ago because we noticed all the tour buses that lumbered through our area, going down Highway 1, heading either down to Monterey or going up to San Francisco, and skipping our area altogether. This is an amazing place. So, as I said, I'm sitting here at the Half Moon Bay Yacht Club. We're about 30 miles south of San Francisco, and behind me you'll see the harbor. This is Princeton Harbor, which is a working and recreational harbor. It's very calm today, light wind. You might hear a little bit of commotion, which is a kids' sailing camp that's going on in the summer. So, but extremely light wind today. I'm going to go grab that phone. Hello there. That's okay. Oh, okay. All right. Well, we started talking, so there we go.
Oh, you guys can go ahead.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
fine.
All right. Yeah. What you guys can walk right through. Okay. We'll be recording till about.
If you're more excited.
Yeah.
So that's okay. No, that's fine. 10:45 is fine. Tomorrow I'll come online about a half hour later, I think. So it'll be 12:30 your time tomorrow. Okay. I think we're positioned, so why don't you just call if there's a problem, but we're positioned and we're going, I think. Okay, all right, okay. Yeah, call me if you don't see anything. You're welcome. Okay, it's fun. Bye.
What'd she say?
She said they're good to go, but we're already recording. So anyway, where was I? I was talking about Half Moon Bay Coastside Tours, and actually, so we're a local tour company. We package complete experiences for people who want to come to our beautiful area and don't know what to do. So I was pointing out some features of our harbor here, which is both a commercial fishing and a recreational harbor. There are people who live here, aboard their boats. There's a lot of commercial fishing, and there are charter fishers that go out and take folks along. So when we're organizing tours for people, we really talk with each client about what they want to do while they're here. So if they want to do water-based activities, Princeton Harbor is one of our top choices. You can go out on one of the fishing charters, whale watching. This time of the year, we have humpback whales that are out. We can't pan out over the ocean, but I'll talk a little bit more about that. So there's about a 3-hour tour that will go out to see the humpback whales. That's an amazing sight. Other times of the year, there are whales so close into shore, you can just be standing on the shore and you see them breaching, and there are the blowholes. It's very exciting. Those are the California gray whales that migrate up and down the coast. They go down in the late fall to have their babies, and they have their babies in Baja. And then in the spring, the early spring to late spring, they come on back up to Alaska. And that's my favorite time because they're just taking their time, they're enjoying themselves, they've got the calves with them, and you can literally see them from the shore. But there are lots of also scheduled whale watching journeys that go out there. So we can organize that sort of experience for people. Some people just want to go in a smaller boat and along the shore to just see some of the sea caves. We've got a spectacular coastline. I'm sure if you have not been to Big Sur or Monterey, imagine that coastline, but it's just a little bit closer and more accessible to San Francisco. So we work with a couple of boat captains that will take you out, explore some, secret sea caves, lots and lots of marine life. Another thing about our sort of the water-based activities is this is a marine reserve sanctuary. We have one of the largest intertidal tide pool areas in all of California. So when the tide is out, as it is this week, very low tides, you can go out, you can see starfish, sea urchins, sea anemones, just amazing. So actually we've scheduled a little tour later this week where we're going to see not only the tide pools, but there's also a pupping ground where the harbor seals have their babies, and they keep the babies right on shore. I was there yesterday, and I saw probably close to 100, I was going to say whales, 100 seals on the beach with their babies. It's an amazing sight. So we take people up to see some of these really unique areas. There are also people who like more active sports. So we do a lot of kayaking, stand-up paddleboarding, surfing lessons. And while we're on the topic of surfing, we are, as you can see out there in the harbor, it's very calm, glassy. This is the inner harbor. When you go out at the mouth of the harbor, you're into the ocean, into the Pacific Ocean. Today is a calm day, but in the winter months, about 1/4 mile out of our harbor is a world famous big wave surfing spot called Mavericks. I don't know if any of you saw Chasing Mavericks. It was a movie just recently, had Gerard Butler in it. And that was based on a true story about really the discovery of Mavericks. Of course, Mavericks surf has been there forever, and there have been surfers who've gone out there probably since the 70s. But it was really discovered by big wave surfers in the 90s, and it made the cover of a surfing magazine. And now, almost every year, there's a big competition where surfers come in from all over the world. The last competition, a local guy from Santa Cruz, California, which is about another hour down the coastline, won the competition. But the year before that, it was a guy from South Africa who got on a plane, brought his surfboards, no time to rest because they'll call the competition 48 hours in advance. So Mavericks is renowned here. However, if you're new to surfing, you're not going to go out there. We have surfing lessons right at the jetty, so it's right outside the mouth of the harbor. Well, you can't really see it from here, but anyway, so that's another thing that people can do. And so let me go on to talk a little bit about, like I said, you might see a bit of action today because we've got kids here for a sailing camp. So that's one other water-based sport that people really enjoy here. You can do sailing lessons, we do team building, sailing lessons, all kinds of things in conjunction with the Half Moon Bay Yacht Club. So again, Half Moon Bay Site Tours works with the local providers of these services so that we can package the whole experience for you. I want to tell you a little bit about our area because this is a fascinating area, just full of history, some of it very colorful. The Native Americans lived on this land thousands of years ago. But the first time that the white people intersected with the Native Americans was when a Spanish expedition, the Portola expedition, was hiking from San Diego up to discovering, well, at least the white people then discovered San Francisco Bay. So they hiked right through this area on their way up to San Francisco. Really, once the Spanish got here, things changed quite rapidly. In 1776, Mission Dolores was established in San Francisco. If you know anything about California history, there's a series of missions all up and down the coast, or all up and down throughout California. So when the missions were established, they needed grazing land. They had, the missions were there. Agriculture was established. The Spanish issued land grants to people to, basically, develop pastures, cattle, take care of the missions, basically feed the missions. So this area was originally then a Spanish land grant area. But things changed, and then from there we came into, so there was a very exciting time around the Mexican-American War when we went from Spanish to Mexican rule, and then Mexican to American. And that was all around in the 1840s. In 1849, something really big hit California, and that was the gold rush. That brought people out here to the coast side. In fact, we've got, what was I going to say about that? So ships, clipper ships, in the 1840s, would bring supplies up to San Francisco. So San Francisco, and again, we're about 30 miles south, so these ships would come by. There were tons of shipwrecks. You can see it's a beautiful day here today, but it's often shrouded in fog. So there were some horrific shipwrecks back then. Later on, in the 1920s, during Prohibition, this became a big area for the speakeasies and the illegal smuggling of, that's when alcohol was illegal here in the United States. So there was actually a gunfight out here on the water between the, what they call I think the GI men, the FBI guys, and the smugglers. So this area has got all kinds of really interesting history. There were tons of speakeasies. Many of them are still around. Now they're local restaurants, and some of those restaurants are phenomenal. We'll talk a little bit about that too. So anyway, it's a really interesting history to the area. We do historic Half Moon Bay and historic Pescadero, which is a little further down the coast, tours, walking tours. The really fun thing is now you can see the historic buildings, but lots of them house fabulous restaurants and shopping. We've got great shopping here, so it's a fun afternoon. If you don't want to get wet, there are lots of other things to do. So let's see, what else can I talk about? Oh, I think what I'd like to do, because I think tomorrow we may have one of our tour guides here to talk about some of our top tours. So when people call us, generally, they want to come into this area. They might want to spend a couple of nights. They've been to San Francisco before. They've seen Yosemite. They've been up to Napa. And they've gone down to Monterey. So they want to do something different. So they'll call us and say, we wanted to have a nice hotel with an ocean view. We'd love to see, something that's kind of rural, because we've been in San Francisco, or maybe we're coming from New York City, and we just want a more quiet pastoral setting. So while there's a lot of action around here on the harbor, just a little bit south of Half Moon Bay, when you go along it becomes very rural. In fact, this area, we grow a lot of Brussels sprouts, artichokes, so there's pumpkins. Half Moon Bay is known for this pumpkin festival we have every year in October. And people really want to see that. They want to kind of get more of the farm-to-table experience. We take folks to wineries. There's an organic goat dairy that's won international awards. It's called Harley Farms. That's down at Pescadero. And that's a very popular stop with our guests. Another thing that people love to do is to experience some of the natural beauty of this area that you cannot see anywhere else. An example are the coastal redwoods. There's just a few thousand acres remaining of coastal redwoods in the world. And if you've been to San Francisco, you might have gone up to Muir Woods, which is right across the Golden Gate Bridge, where you have to sit in traffic. You walk on a guided path with lots of people all around you. Here we have remote stretches of redwood forest. We take people to a heritage grove in the Sam McDonald State Park. It's about a 40-minute drive from here, but you'll just feel like you are a world away. It's amazing. That has to be one of the top things for people to see because, you really don't have an opportunity to see the redwoods anywhere else. And often on these walks, you won't see anybody else. So that's very different from going up to Muir Woods. Very different and really awe-inspiring experience. When we do that tour, we often then go to the more remote stretches of beach that are south of Half Moon Bay. There's some amazing places. Pebble Beach is an example. That's not the Pebble Beach golf course down in Monterey Carmel, but this is a beach that has these tiny little pebbles strewn all over the beach. When the water comes over them, they look like jewels. It's spectacular. And so people love to go down to that beach. They love to see the marine life, birds. There's a salt marsh down there too. Actually, there's a salt marsh here that's just about just a few steps from where we are. So for anybody who's interested in birding, and we have done bird, we do a lot of naturalist-led tours. So we will team up our clients with the right tour guides, people who can really cater to their interests. And we do anything from, we just recently did a tour for a 90-year-old woman who just wanted to look around. She didn't have a lot of mobility, but she had a lot of interest. We just completed a tour with 25 people who wanted to kayak and hang out and do some hiking and go down to Mavericks. So we can do any variety of things. It's an amazing coastline. We love it here. Okay, so I want to see what time we are at right now.
10:23.
10:23. Okay. So.
We could always just, leave the camera running and
so I think
get some views.
I'm going to stop talking for a while because I'm a bit out of, I'll think of more, but right now I thought maybe we would just take a look at some of the vista here. And also you'll see I've got a little thing about Half Moon Bay Coastside Tours here. That's our phone number, our website, which is hmecoastsidetours.com. It's really warming up today, but anyway, it looks beautiful. You can see I don't know if you can see.
If you move.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm moving away now. So we're just panning over, again, the harbor. You can see some of the sailboats out there. I'm trying to see if you can see the fog lifting and the sun shining through. I want to see if we've got some of our seals. Oh, I see one sitting out there. I don't know if you can find him, Amy. But if you look right there, sometimes there's like 6 or 7 on that dock. right now there's just one. He's just hanging out there. And that pier out there, again, that's a historic pier. It's no longer active. That was a fish processing plant. You can see it's a very old and rickety pier, so it's not really usable, but it's picturesque. And then a little further out there, when you see the that bluff, around that point is where the Mavericks surf break is. It's about a quarter mile beyond that bluff. So surfers have to go out quite a ways to get to that surf line. But those waves can be as high as 50 feet with a very rocky, jaggedy reef there. So it's a pretty dangerous spot. We can also see some of the kids getting involved in sailing up here. They're out in some of the little boats. They do a week-long sailing camp every summer. It goes on for about 8 weeks. So pretty today. You can hear that foghorn. You can hear the seagulls. The water gently lapping at the shore.
Or branches.
Tree branches. The children need to be able to swim out to the dock and back in their gear. The water here, by the way, is very cold. It never really gets warmer than, Amy, what would you say, 60, 65 degrees. So if you're used to the East Coast, there's colder water. You need a wetsuit. Again, we could provide all of those accoutrements for you. You don't have to travel with your wetsuit and gear. All right, I'm going to come back here and we're going to talk a little bit about food and nightlife. So I was getting warm there, so anyway, I thought I would also mention our fabulous restaurants, what people do in the evening around here. You know, generally I think people are here to relax, but we do have some great music. One very unique environment is something called the Bach Dynamite and Dancing Society. It's a beach house, literally across the street from a spectacular ocean setting. And world-renowned jazz musicians, classical musicians come in. There are some of the harbor bars right here that are very popular with the young folks. They've got entertainment, so things can be hopping till about 1 or what time, 2 in the morning, Amy?
Yeah, 1:30,
okay.
45.
Yeah. The restaurants are phenomenal here. Some of my favorites are Cafe Gibraltar, which is a Mediterranean restaurant. I love Mezzaluna, which is an Italian restaurant, again, just very close to here. Fabulous homemade Italian food. They do all their pastas from scratch. There's Pasta Moon downtown. Another favorite of mine is Cafe Capistrano, which features Mayan cuisine. So unlike the Mexican restaurants you might be familiar with that have a lot of cheesy enchiladas, this is much more fresh fish and chicken and mango slaw and salsa. It's delicious. It's healthful. We really like that restaurant. The Half Moon Bay Brewing Company is very close to here, right on the harbor. A fun place to hang out if you like microbrews. I'll mention a little bit about wine as well. We have a few tasting rooms around. We have one winery that's actually based in the town of Half Moon Bay. It's called Barterra Winery, and several of its wines have won major international awards. The 2009 Cabernet Sauvignon, as an example, won 2 double gold medals, one at the San Francisco International Wine Competition, one in Finger Lakes. We have some of our guests who actually like to do more wine tasting, and while Half Moon Bay doesn't have that much, we always take them to Barterra, fabulous wines there. But there are people who want to spend a day wine tasting. So we'll engage a car service. We could take them up to Thomas Fogarty, which is a beautiful winery looking out over the San Francisco Bay and the peninsula. Santa Cruz has got wineries, so if people want to really just have a day with wine, focused on wine, you don't have to go to Napa or Sonoma. It's an easy base to do wine tasting from. I'm trying to think of a couple other restaurants. A lot of folks really like to sit out on the water and see what's going on in the water. And there are several restaurants where I love their patios. La Costanera is a Peruvian restaurant. It's at Montera State Beach. Wonderful. Just a beautiful setting. Unique Peruvian food. There's also the Moss Beach Distillery, which is it's got a ghost called Blue Lady. So it was a speakeasy, and it had a murder or two there. So it's well known as it was on one of those Unsolved Mysteries shows several years ago. But that's got a great patio. You can sit outside, fire pits. Sam's Chowder House is another place that people love to sit out. They've got a fantastic patio, Adirondack chairs, fire pits. They do lobster and clam bake, so we're actually organizing a lobster and clam bake for some guests that are coming in a couple of weeks. So that's a really fun thing. The Miramar Beach Inn, which was another speakeasy. A little further down the coast, it's got a great patio. So there's tons of options for sitting outside. A little more upscale environment. We have the a Ritz-Carlton Hotel just south of Half Moon Bay, and they've got a restaurant and also a really just a nice cocktail lounge area where you can sit out and look at the beautiful ocean view. So, did you think of any other places, Amy, I should mention in terms of restaurants?
There's lots of them, but
There are many
nothing
restaurants.
that-
Some people really love to have the view. Other people want the perfect food. My personal favorite is Cafe Gibraltar. I love the food there. So anyway, I think we're just going to take a look at the views again, and then in a few minutes we'll see that. Oh, perfect. That looks fun.
Yeah.
Sailing camp.
Get a steady shot of the seals. That's what I shaped before.
You can see him wagging his fins, or fin.
Yeah, what's up that side? No. That way, Mom. That way. There. Down. Thank you. So cute.
How you doing?
Okay, how are you doing?
Fantastic. Checking out your yacht club. I remember Dana West and Dana Point.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Well, we're not open. We just open mainly on the weekends.
On the weekends?
But we run a youth sailing camp.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, we just started our youth sailing camp. Just started this week too.
Yeah, so we have about 8 weeks of kids always fully subscribed. How does yours do?
They're pretty full all the time. Yeah, I think we have 12 or 15 boats
Yeah.
they use.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're pretty full all the time.
So how long
We're here until Friday, and then we're going to my sister's house up in San Francisco for a few days.
Okay. Well,
Which I didn't know was Gay Pride Weekend in San Francisco.
boy.
So there's like going to be 1.4 million people at this parade on Sunday.
it's going to be very wild.
Yeah, so.
But anyway, but if you're here on Friday, come on in. You can be our guest here at the yacht club. We do a happy hour on Fridays, and there's always food. And
Yeah, we close on, no, Tuesday, Wednesdays we're closed.
Yeah.
And then we're open the rest of the week. So.
Yeah, we saw we ran into some people like a week ago that had your hat on.
oh,
You know,
so
so
Yeah,
you're
hey, everyone, happy Day this
They were
week.
members Marriott Club.
Yeah.
So we're looking at it.
Well, it's always fun to go see other guys.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't-
Well, we like to go to
Did you say Dana Point?
Yeah, we're in Dana West.
I've been to the big down there.
Yeah, that's my brother's yacht club. That's too stuffy for me.
You know, semi, but on the other hand, they're so friendly. I've never
Yeah.
gone in, I've some of the, like, there's one over on Balboa that I thought they were just obnoxious, but
Yeah. They're pretty nice there. Yeah, my brother's been a member there for a few years.
Yeah.
They're the kind of a club though that you have to spend $120 a month, or they just bill you anyway.
Yeah.
They have all these minimums and all these criteria that you have to fall under. And I like that. Well, if you want to come and drink. And if you don't want to come, don't come. And we're not going to charge you any more than your dues. And,
yeah, right. That's how it was fun.
Yeah.
We're very.
Yeah, we're like 800. Actually, our dues just went up to 1,000. No, we're good. Yeah, we just went up to I think 1,090 a year.
So video, ours is less. Ours
Yeah.
is.
But the reason ours just went up is we just did a complete remodel. We actually made our building larger.
Yeah, we just added this building on a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
But we do own this property, so that.
Well, that's nice. Yeah, that's really nice. Yeah, we don't run our. Oh, my name's RJ. Yeah.
I do.
And I also own a restaurant in Dana Point Harbor. So yeah, it's called RJ's Cafe.
RJ?
Yeah, I do breakfast and lunch.
Yeah, do you? Okay.
Yeah.
I've got a sister who lives in Costa Mesa, and I have a
Okay.
brother who lives in Oceanside.
Okay.
However, Dana Point's a good meeting,
Yeah, that's about halfway.
about halfway.
Yeah.
Come and eat with us. We're a great place to meet. We only do breakfast and lunch.
We do that.
Yeah, we do breakfast and lunch.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Well,
I've been voted 5 years in a row best breakfast in Dana Point. And that's voted by the people in the paper, so I can't even pay for that one.
No, you can't.
I don't like
bet
those.
you are. And my husband, he's all about breakfast. So,
I'm
yeah.
that kind of guy.
okay, next time we come down, we're
Good, we'd love to
No.
have you.
That being said, if you went to the best breakfast place in Half Moon Bay,
Well, most people like the 3-0, which is right at the airport.
Diner.
The Happy Bay Airport. What's your favorite name?
For breakfast?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. I don't
3-0
know. I
is
haven't.
good.
Yeah, 3-0 is really good. I'm trying to think. There's got to be
We
more.
always the best breakfast in town is at our house.
Yeah.
I never go out for breakfast around
That's cool. What time do you want me there?
Sam's restaurant for dinner.
Good.
It's good, but it was so funny because we were just doing this video transmission. We're doing a video for, I run a little tour business here on the coast.
Oh, cool.
So I was mentioning my very favorite restaurant here is called Cafe Gibraltar. And it is, Sam's is good, but it's very big, more industrial to me.
Right, right.
You guys know, right?
Yeah, my restaurant's 1,350 square feet with a patio. And we're,
Cafe Gibraltar, chef owner, it's Mediterranean